Hey, we're up. Okay, I got the 262 back here because I wanted to check timing. That's a worry. Anywho, let me bring you up here. I can see questions and comments and whatnot live for those people that are watching later. A little boring. A whole lot more fun to join us live, hang out, ask questions, heckle, whatever you want, you know. And let's see. Nikki's first, good, and Andy, great. Hey, Andy. Yeah, nothing terribly exciting tonight. I do have more O-rings. We can start out with that because I'm on an O-ring kick. Oh yeah, oh yeah. O-ringsandmore.com. So these are different. Oh, I got a card. I can use that. Okay. I'm gonna throw this out. Throw that out. Okay. So what we got here, we had an OEM O-ring Husqvarna 740 48 2702 for a 262 XP actually, for the flywheel side, the ceiling ring. Hey, Steve. And that's the OEM part. And this is O-ringsandmore.com. Buna 70, 1.78 millimeter, 34.65. And let's see how we did. Actually, you know what? Let's put this down just for a quick second. Okay, so here is OEM. Don't want to get this messed up. This is the original. These are like $4 a shot. Original here. Who's gonna know? Would you consider the thicker gasket? No. The only port opening that it might have helped, it would have raised the intake a little bit more, but it's not really a bother. So 34.65 ID here. Let's set this to millimeters. This looks a tad narrow, but we're going to go right to 34.65. And it picks it up. That's the OEM. That's right on it. Yep. It's right there. There it is. 34.65. So OEM, and this is from O-ringsandmore.com. Got 50 of them. Also, the diameter, I think, is 1.78 on here. There's 1.7 and there's tug. There's 1.76 and there's tug. Yeah, 1.78. So I'm going to put the OEM back, but as far as I can tell, they are identical. 50 of them for $6 shipped. eBay. These are like $5 a piece if you buy them individually from Husky, which would drive me berserk. So I'm going to write on here so I know 262 XP. Now I know what they're for. And then I can hand these back to my dad, who happens to have all the 262 parts. Okay. Now what? Hey, Ken. Yeah, thanks, Ken, for announcing that. Yeah, if everybody can keep James in their thoughts and prayers, would be appreciated. I don't know if he's set up or watching, but I just wanted to go through the O-ring thing because I'm pretty excited about that. There are, that 372, the bushing, that tiny little O-ring, that's kind of like next on my list of things to look up. But let's get back to this 262. What layout was that? Parallel, flat, push rod, something else? What? Bate's performance. Anyone, Ken and I can't get over the new clean shave. Oh, heck, I might not shave for 2 weeks since I'm laid off. So I'm officially unemployed right this moment. So I am anticipating going back to work, of course, but you never know. You never know. Right, shaved and then there's snow. Alright, let's get this off here. So there's one thing that I like to do when I don't have a proper flywheel keyway or key, because this is a cast-in flywheel. The flywheel actually has the key cast in, and after you shear it, you can modify it so it still does work. But there's something that I do that helps me a lot, and I'll show you guys that in just a second. Because I'm just after trying to pull this over once, it feels like it's not, the compression's not just tight. It feels like the timing is too far advanced. That's what it feels like to me. So I'm going to put a little bit of, put this down there. I'll pull the flywheel off. I don't think it's going to take much to pull this off. I don't think I remember to actually torque it. There's that too. Okay, crap. Okay. Man, I'll be wearing a temporary crown extra week. Dentist is closed. Here on the, yeah, well, my boss is seeing emergencies Monday through Friday, but other than that, no cleanings, no hygiene, basically no regular appointments, So let me show you guys what I do here, because there's been some question on this. This is just a piece of copper. I make a key, essentially. The key goes in the keyway here on the crank, and the keyway here on the flywheel. So this actually works pretty well. Perfect time to binge on math. Yeah, great. No, don't binge watch me. Too boring. Too boring. Lordy. Okay. Let me show you what I like to do. This is by no means exact, okay? But it does give you an indication if timing gets off by a bit. And this saw has a massive compression motor. We saw 235 pounds, which is just crazy. Turn this down to nice and slow. And what I like to do is put little notches just kind of eyeball it. And believe it or not, that really helps. Gives you an idea of where to line that up. And then you can do that here on the flywheel as well. So what you can actually do is grind, because you're going to draw a line essentially. So now you know where your timing is, even though, well, you won't be able to see that notch once the flywheel nut's on there. So, all right. So this gives you an indication, even if the flywheel nut's not on there, or it is on there, where you're at. Hey, Dan. You want this nice and clean before you put the flywheel back on. And the issue that I had was that it was just too far advanced. Or at least it felt that way. I don't know if that's how it was for sure, but it certainly felt like that. Because it wanted to just rip the thing right out of my hands. There. I'm going to actually tend, because I tended to advance the timing last go. I'm going to tend to retard it this time. "12-gauge wire does not necessarily net slight advance. 12-gauge wire is just what I use for the key. There's usually some play one way or another. So you can play with that all you want. Yeah, 235 compression is potent. That's what that is. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually torque the flywheel nut down. which I think I forgot to do last time, so this is not a bad check here at all. We're not hitting. Okay, good. How do you add the engine time into compression? Not directly, unless the pop. Yeah, so the pop, if it pops too early, the thing wants to just rip the cord right out of your hand. If it pops too late, then it's just going to be sluggish. Yeah, I've seen north of 270. Some guys are completely insane like that. Eventually, my understanding of compression is that eventually it starts to work against itself. So, you don't want 270 is probably a little bit high. You probably don't want it all the way up there. Usually somewhere around 200 really makes quite, 210, 220. You get quite a potent saw at that point. Quite a potent motor, whether it's a saw or not, whatever, Okay, lots of 4.5 well rope. So run more oil, whatever. Don't run it all day long. A saw like this, you're not going to take this out in the woods and expect to run it all day long. You might say, hey, go cut some firewood, have some good time, have some fun, whatever. You might not want to run it all day long. And maybe you do. Go crazy. If you can afford to play. Okay. And Dan did mention to me, the guy that built this, Dan did mention initially that I may need 2 washers on these spark plugs. But if I can pull it over and not collapse the plug, doesn't feel like it's hitting. Yeah, a normal, everyday, like 372, 455 Rancher, 150 pounds. That's pretty normal for compression. It's nice on performance, not too heavy on the bearings, all that stuff. So, and I did get the high idle to work. Oh. I had it working. It was working, I swear. I may actually have to take this carburetor off. The high idle was working just 10 minutes ago. Yeah, it takes me months to build saws usually. Just because parts are just keep coming slow. Supply's working. Pull this back. Push it forward. This isn't even touching it. I really need to... I hate to have to pull the carburetor, but I think I'm going to have to do that. I hate to have to pull the carburetor, but in order to get the high idle to work, I'm going to have to do that. Hey, Larry. Something's not quite meshing right with the plastic and metal here on this carburetor. And this is an 87 carburetor, so this is not one of those things that you can easily replace. The carburetor by itself on eBay is $100. All right, I forgot that. Come on. Throttle. Air horn bolts. Ice cream. The reason that one's tough is because that's a helicoil right there, but it's holding. Okay. That's why, because this is warm. So this plastic piece is worn. There. Right here at the tip. It's not square, it's worn off. brand new. This is a 144, but it's got the same mechanism. And it pushes over and clicks. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see if we can't modify this a little bit to get it to work. Good. This should get bent in just slightly. Careful. That ought to work now. If that gasket's still in place, then we're in the money here. But who knows? Okay. Looks good to me. Lock tight. Lots of firewood. That's the way to be, Larry. The way to be. That inner gasket didn't move, which is key. Good. These being tight is super important. And staying tight. Good. 60 bags of corn chips. Nice and tight. Always tend to forget this stupid rubber piece. Kill wire goes on. And the switch is grounded to the chassis here, basically. So if this wire gets grounded to the chassis somewhere else, the darn thing's not going to start. All right. Moment of truth here. Gas line back on. Oh. Good. Perfect. It's repeatable. That's good. It's about all you can hope for. Okay. Top cover. Junkyard. Junkyard's here. So, I adjusted the flywheel, hopefully, and the high idle now works flawlessly. Can I just leave it like this and send it to you? Is that okay? Rather than going and doing all the testing and everything, I just want to... Because I can hand it to Mason, it's just going to be weeks, you know, before it comes back. I don't know. Seems to me this is too long. Too long? Too long. As long as it runs good. I don't know if it runs good or not. That's the problem. Does it run good? Shoot, I don't know. 235 pounds, it better. It needs to pop. Yeah, I know. I don't know if I can get it to pop. I'm too weak. 235 pounds of compression. You think you can get it to pop? I really wasn't planning on spending lots of time on this thing tonight. Really was not planning on spending lots of time on this thing, period. But every friggin' time. Every time. I forget the boot. Do I have a snowmobile handle? Yeah, I know I need one, but I'm thinking, like, do I have one? I might not. I might. It'd be nice. I know, you can do the wrap like Riley Yeah, I got 2 weeks off. At least. You never know. The whole world shut down. It's just, life's crazy. Yeah, that'll pack in there a little bit better. Okay. Owie. Felt like a razor blade sticking up, but it wasn't. Just one, one of my steel brushes. Turn this way out, so let's. Just want to get the butterfly to move a little bit. My girlfriend just brought me cookies that I cream and ice cream. Let me to ditch divers. What's going on, Matt? Where's that arm wrestling strength, Chris? No, that's actually the problem, Nikki. That's actually the problem. My tennis elbow came back after arm wrestling, so it'll be a couple of weeks before I get back to normal. My sideway is plentiful. A couple saws, dozer engines, some hydraulic. Okay. I know everybody wants me to pop this thing. I just don't know, guys. I just don't know. That's good. We're gonna leave it there. That's it. My arms are done. Yeah. We'll leave it there. Does that make you happy, Junkyard? Is that good? Can we leave it there? Is that okay? It definitely did not feel like it's ripping it out of my fingers. So that's much the much better start. Yeah, it's zippy. All right. Oh, you know what I needed to do? I gotta put that bar belongs on here, I think. I think that bar belonged on here. That's right, if it's going to junkyard. Do you need a bar for this or no? It's easier to ship without the bar, but based on how big of a box I'm going to use, the bar might actually fit. James is watching? Good. Ken, you got the email wrong. This is just like a regular Husky small mount 20-inch bar. Okay, I'll see what my buddy wants to do. I don't know if he has any other small mount Huskies, so I don't know if he'll want it anyway. So I'll ask. I'll just go put this in the pile here. So just go in a pile for you. Gotta make a pile for Larry too. I know. I know. We need to make a pile for Larry. Larry, do you have a list? Does he need a bar for the 440? No. Because I can get him bars, and there's no sense. The shipping gets kind of nuts for bars. I can get him bars. I got bars. So. Ken, make sure you delete your message, the email, because you forgot the Y in Maddie-O. There's. Yeah, make Larry, give me the grand list here, and I'll we'll work on it. I'm waiting for the mail anyway, I guess, but okay. We got to get back to this 372 head. Really looks pretty good. You could just play with this forever. You look at something and be like, no, I got to grind more here, got to grind more there. Eventually, you got to go out and run it, So let's see if we can I got to do the exhaust. And on the exhaust, we need to take about a 1/16 of an inch off. Again, the easiest way to do that, put a ring in here. Maybe just a hair more. Use one of these. Need gloves. The thing when you're working with plating is you really got to work on. You got to have gloves because the plating pieces tend to go right into your hands. don't know how well this straight handpiece is going to hold up. But, right, what am I thinking? Nice sharp Sharpie. Get a line. And basically you have it where you want to grind away the line. You want to grind away the line in dead center and then blend it up to the sides. Are you still working at the office? No, I'm not. Hey, Adirondax. No, I'm laid off. So I have at least 2 weeks of layoff here. Okay. So at least I have an idea now of where to grind. Now you could also put a piston in here and draw internally to see how wide the skirts are and whatnot. I'm not going to widen this that far. You can go completely as crazy as you want. Getting there. I think I gotta bring it slightly further this way. Yeah, that looks more even. Okay. I can take and hit that with the sandpaper. Caleb! Destination South. Next is steel. Steel. Take care, Andrew. Thanks for coming in. The technique, whatever my girlfriend tells me. Going down with. Yeah, as soon as females are mentioned, we know we have kind of a. No offense, Chris, but as soon as we mention females around here, for some reason, it's going the wrong direction. Try this stuff. I don't think I've tried this yet. I don't. That's 220 there. I don't see any. Is this 50? This is 50. It's already gone there. It's been a long time there on that topic. Not sure that's the best of ideas. So for those people that haven't seen, this is just a drywall screw with a slit in it, and take some 50 grit in here and wind it up, and you've got a flap wheel, essentially. Dive on into your exhaust here. What I'll then do is take the end off, because it's a little worn, and just keep hitting it. Am I going to run this saw? Yeah, I'm going to run this saw. So you guys will definitely get to see that. Well, I don't have any wood. I can run it, but I don't have any wood to cut it, you know? This is an aftermarket, and this is a full-on Chinese 52 millimeter cheapo big bore top end. Single ring. You can spend just forever on this. Nice thing is you can take this into your transfers as well. See, that's worn considerably. So just take some off and keep going. Junkyard, lots and lots of ills are solved by a new carburetor. I mean, lots of ills are solved by a new carburetor. Especially on those. I'm tending to really like, OEM for carburetors, HD12Bs in particular for 372s. Or HD12s, whichever. Sometimes you get the B, sometimes you don't, but whatever. don't usually take the intake past 50 grit. There's really not a whole lot of point. Transfer the lowers and the intake basically are 50 grit. Easy to assume there's an air leak. It's hard to fork over the money for a new carburetor. But turns out those aftermarket 372 carburetors are really hit and miss. Did I add grooves to the intake? No. I don't see why anybody would. It's like maybe the golf ball thing would work, but probably not. Just one little spot down here. Just look chunky, you know? I want chunky. They run erratic if smooth. Mine run erratic if the carburetor's not right. Everybody's got their own experience, but I tend to think the funky running tends to be more carburetor or coil related than pretty much anything else. The cheap China. Do I have a stock 372? No, I have one out in the shed. I have a stock 52 millimeter here. I have another Farmer Tech head. I have I think I've got a wrecked 50 millimeter out in the shed somewhere. I'll give you a little comparison in just a minute. So this is a stock Farmer Tech Chinese 52 millimeter jug. Okay. Side by side with the one I'm working on. So this is the one I'm working on. Yeah, I think the Farmer Tech one is available in single ring, which I like. So just something to think about there. In generally, I've been pretty partial to highway stuff, but on this particular one, I think I'm partial to the Farmer Tech because it's available in single ring. I don't know for sure whether the highway is or not. I would say that in general, I would trust highway to be ready to rock, slap on and go more than I would the Farmer Tech. But I also just port everything, so pretty much. I port everything aftermarket for sure. 220 grit. Actually, I'll take the opportunity. Before I polish this, I really should bevel the edges with a diamond, with a round diamond, ball diamond. These are like $25. They're really not that expensive. I don't know exactly what price I paid, but it's somewhere around there. Maybe $30 shipped on eBay, something like that. Yeah, so far the strongest 372 I think I've run is my other 52 millimeter big bore, and it's actually single ring. So, and you have to ask Mason if it's the strongest he'd run, but my guess is yes. The beveling. beveled. I'm going to go back to my 220, and then I'm going to clean the whole thing in the sink. Do a good wash. Is this a conversion build? Nah, not exactly. This is more like a pile of parts build. Efren! Are you going to try to start back today just asking like to see that I trust? What? Start back today. What are we doing? When is the next line? Hey, Matt, am I on tomorrow? Yeah, I'll probably be on tomorrow, but I don't know exactly what I'm doing. But, Efren, translate, please. Oh, you'd like to see this start up today? I don't know about, I don't know about that, but I'd like to get this to pop today too, but I don't think so. Can make this tight, but it still doesn't want to stay. I could keep going there, but there's no point. One pop per day, yeah. Let me clean this really, really well, and then we'll put it back on the saw and get an idea of what we're doing as far as degree wheel goes, see how we did, you know? You guys are bad. Okay. As we've gotten back off the topic of females, we're all set. All right, put that away. Right, Chris? Right. Could you repeat the port numbers? Yeah. In general, most saws, I think, tend to do good somewhere around 120, 100, 120, and 80. So what I've got here on the intake is more like 81. I'm aiming for like 102-ish on the exhaust and 122-ish on the transfers. Have you watched the Mister? I've seen it on 100. I can hang with the boys. I've heard plenty of girls say that, and it's just not. Anyway, it's a tough topic. It's a tough topic. Chris, that's for sure. We really have a good bunch of dudes here. I'll say that we have a lot of fun, and everybody plays nice, and that really is a tribute to everybody, and it just makes things a whole lot of fun. Okay, so bottom dead center. Wilmington, take care, be safe, be healthy, okay? I really just want to like see the exhaust here and see how it did. It's pretty rare we have people show up in the chat that aren't welcome. You know, there's a few people that have showed up over the years, but really not much. In general, we've had a lot of fun. We've got a really great bunch of guys, and everybody's here to have fun and learn and learn from each other, you know? All right. That's pretty darn even. Right there. It would open. Oh, shoot. Like right on the friggin' money. 102. Just looks like I gotta take the center a little bit more. I gotta take a little bit more right out the center. That way it just looks a little too flat. So let me show you guys. You can see in there how it opens and then it closes like beautiful. Boom. But it's just a little too flat. Right in the dead center, you want just a little bit more of a curve, you know? Just a little more of a curve. But in general, we're basically right on the money there. Maybe I need a degree more of just a little bit. Or you could risk it, you know? Don't want to hook a ring. Do we want to risk it? Don't want to risk it. Well, that's not cool. Go for it, yeah. So, look at this. Beautiful. Boom, boom, boom. Nice and even opening. But on the corner, the piston is, the other's just a little, the piston shape's funny, see? I guess it opens like kind of like that on the other side too. But that's darn even. Leave it. Leave that. All right, let's check and see in here. Around there. 90, 100, 110, 120. Again, 122. Right on the money for transfers. Okay, good. So, all I got to do is just touch the exhaust a shade, and it'll be perfect, essentially. It's good. It's good. It's basically right where I was aiming. So that's good. What I think I have to do is just a shade more sanding. That way I make sure to have enough clearance. I don't need a lot more sanding. I just need a little bit. What time is it? It's 9 o'clock. So do a little bit more sanding. I'll do that tomorrow. Just you guys don't need to see that. You just put a piece of sandpaper on the top of the piston and spin it. Takes a while too to get it right. Have a good night, Nikki. Get some rest, man. What brand tool are you using for port work? So this is actually a Bosch. It's basically a Bosch Dremel tool, but it's cordless, and with a pencil attachment. I believe it was rigid. It was a rigid pencil attachment. It's old school, like old pencil attachment, but it fits. It was like the rigid or Black and Decker. It's one of those, and it was like the original copy of a Dremel tool by Black. I believe it was Black and Decker, and it was one of the first things that my wife bought for me, actually. Like when we were dating back in the day. Right, I don't want to change that. I do want to change this. This. I just need to, on the dead center, really all that needed. Just brake cleaner. Might have an explosion. No big deal. Yeah, Nikki's crazy. We love you, Nikki. Right now he probably can't see straight, poor guy. So you're gonna put the bevel back on, retouch it with the sandpaper, and rewash it. And that'll be it for tonight. That better not hook now. Yeah, this has worked well for a while. It had some weird issue 6 months ago where whatever it was, and took it apart, put it back together, and it worked. I don't know. Yeah, Ken, I did see that on Netflix, and I just wasn't sure whether I'd be able to handle it or not. Hey, Pat. Almost done here on this 372 head. Home stretch. Glad he's not my dentist. Cookies and cream. Have a good night, Larry. Enjoy. Ah. How does the flashlight work? Yeah. Not bad. Pretty smooth. You gotta make sure, you run your thumb in here and press down and make sure it's pretty smooth. You don't want it hanging, you know. Looks pretty good. Yes, I'm trying to duplicate the other head because it runs really well. That other thing, it runs really, really, really good, and it'd be really nice to replicate it. So. A little bit more over here, just to I got to clearance the head from the crankcase. Just as long as it doesn't stink and touch. And this is not thin really, so it's fine. Oop. Sorry. Okay. So I think I'm gonna call it for the evening. What I'll do tomorrow, because I don't have anything to do tomorrow. What I'll do tomorrow is I'll get this sanded and basically ready to plop on there, and now we'll just do assembly essentially. And maybe tomorrow if we can get a pop, that'd be great. But all the numbers in here are good, so I'm happy with that. Maybe I'll get some photos for everybody. Anyway, so that's that for the night. Don't go, the wife won't care. Get the thing ready. No, I gotta go put the kids to bed. And I'm shot too. So yes, we do need to get the thing running. You're right. I gotta do it. Hopefully, get a pop tomorrow. See what happens. So yeah, that's the correct email, Ken. Thanks. Yep. Chris, have a great night. Ken, Pat, Drain the Swamp, everybody. Do appreciate everybody hanging out. This is fun. This is a kick, and hopefully we get a pop tomorrow, if at all possible. There's plenty of other stuff right now to do in the basement, and Larry has a little order for me to fulfill, so we'll work on that too. Right, 6 foot safe social distance. Fantastic. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Have a great night, guys. Night, Dan. Thanks.